So let's talk about the one question every single person in tech is asking right now. Hybrid, remote, or back to the office, which one is actually going to land you the biggest paycheck in 2025? We're going to dive deep into the data to find out.
All right, let's just get right into it. Is it the pure freedom of remote work, the structure of being in the office, or that perfect blend of hybrid that really pays the most? Now, you might think you already know the answer, but the data? Well, it tells a fascinating story with a twist that could seriously change how you plan your next career move.
Okay, so let's put these three work styles head to head. We're going to have a little salary showdown, and we're going to look at it from two different angles. First, the average pay you can expect, and second, the absolute maximum salary you could possibly hit. And let me tell you, the results are probably not what you're thinking.
First up, let's talk average pay. You know, the most consistent, reliable salary figure we see across thousands and thousands of job listings. And when you look at it this way, a clear winner pops right out. You can see that bar for hybrid roles is consistently at the top of the charts. That's right. If you average it all out, hybrid jobs are pulling in around $132,288, which puts them ahead of both fully remote and fully in-office positions. So for steady, reliable, high-paying work, the data is pretty clear. Hybrid is the champ. But, and this is a big but, that's only half the story. Okay, so this is where the plot twist comes in. Because when we stop looking at the average salary and start looking at the absolute highest possible paycheck, we're talking top-tier senior roles, the winner does a complete 180.
And boom, there's the big surprise. For the jobs that command the absolute top dollar, pushing up towards $191,475, being in the office is what gets you there. So the key thing to realize here is that average pay and maximum pay, they're two totally different ballgames.
You know, this really just sums it all up perfectly. If you want a great, reliable salary that also comes with some flexibility, hybrid is for sure your best bet. But if your goal is to climb to the absolute tippy top of that compensation ladder, the data says that path still leads right through a physical office door.
So why the big difference? Well, it turns out where you clock in from is just one piece of a much bigger puzzle. There are other, way more powerful forces at play that are actually driving these salary numbers. So let's pull back the curtain and look at the hidden factors that have a huge impact on your paycheck.
Before you make any big decisions, you've really got to ask yourself these three critical questions: your seniority level, your actual physical location, and how much you personally value flexibility. These things will often matter way more than whether the job is listed as remote or in office. Let's break each one down.
First things first, specialization is king, period. The biggest paychecks, hands down, go to senior-level talent in super high-demand fields like AI, machine learning, and cybersecurity. A top-notch AI engineer working from their couch will almost always out-earn a junior developer in a fancy downtown office. The bottom line is this: your skills are your number one asset. Okay, next up is this thing called the geographic multiplier. And trust me, this is a huge deal, especially for remote workers. It basically means a company might pay you less if you live somewhere with a low cost of living, compared to your coworker doing the exact same job from, say, San Francisco or New York. This is a key reason why those in-office jobs in expensive cities can have such a crazy high salary ceiling. But wait, here's a really interesting counter-argument. One analysis actually found that in what they call remote-capable jobs, remote workers earned, on average, over $8,500 more per year than their office-based colleagues. This suggests that even though some companies are adjusting pay down, the overall demand for remote talent is still so high that it's keeping salaries super competitive.
And finally, there's the actual dollar value of flexibility itself. It's a real thing. Studies show that a lot of tech workers are totally willing to trade a chunk of their salary for the ability to work from home. Some would even take up to a 25% pay cut. You can think of it as a flexibility premium, and it can sometimes keep those remote and hybrid salaries from climbing even higher.
Okay, so we've seen the data, we've watched the showdown, and we've uncovered the hidden drivers. Now for the most important part. What in the world does this all mean for you? Let's translate all this information into a clear strategy based on what you actually want out of your career. All right, let's say your number one goal, your only mission, is to maximize your earnings and hit that absolute highest salary ceiling possible. The data points to one clear path, an in-office role. We're talking a senior, specialized role, probably located in a major high-cost-of-living tech hub.
But hey, what if you want the best of both worlds? If you're aiming for that sweet spot, a top-tier average salary
combined with some real, meaningful flexibility, then hybrid is your winning move. It consistently offers the highest average pay without forcing you to be in an office 5 days a week. It's a fantastic balance.
And finally, if your ultimate priority is freedom, the freedom to live where you want, work how you want, then a fully remote role is the obvious answer. The pay is still incredibly competitive, and you get a level of autonomy that in-office and frankly even most hybrid jobs simply can't match.
So there you have it. Hybrid takes the crown for the best average pay. In-office wins for the highest possible ceiling, and remote offers the ultimate freedom. The real question isn't just which job pays the most anymore. It's which job pays the most for the life you want to live. Now that you've seen the data, what's your next move going to be?